Tell you a story. When I was in Laos, I hired this tuk-tuk driver for a couple of days to take me around. So he took me up to waterfalls and famous caves and elephants, all that. And I said, look, I really want to meet a local family, because this guy could speak some English. I'd like to go and experience a local family. And he said, well, it's Sunday tomorrow, so I'm not working. I can take you there for free. It won't cost you anything. I thought, this is great. So I hopped on his tuk-tuk and we went about, 20 miles out of town. And we went to this farm that actually grew things like, for the restaurants, bok choy, lettuce, all that sort of stuff. And I met this family, father, son, there were some women, and they lived very poor, looked very poor anyway. And on the way there, he said, I had to buy beer. So that's customary. So we went to one shed and we bought this great big giant case of beer. And then we went to another place and we bought a big block of ice that we sat on the beer. And on the way we went and bought some watermelons. And I remember the watermelons were piled up as high as a house, right? And anyway, we got to this farm and I met the people. They couldn't really speak any English at all, so I had to use the other guy as a translator. So what they did is they were cooking fish stew. I don't like fish stew, but you got to be polite. And I said, where did this come from? Where'd you catch this? And the guy took me over, the father, and showed me this filthy, dirty pond, right? And he said, oh, that's where, like that. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I had to eat this stuff. So I sat there and I ate it. And I thought, oh, thank goodness this is over and done with. And then they went and took all the bones and boiled them up and made a cup of soup. So then I had to drink that, right? Now this case of beer had like 48 bottles in it. Well, in 1 hour they drank the whole lot. No joke, they just drunk it all. There's no way I could keep up with them. I'm not much of a drinker, you know. I like beer. Wouldn't be Australian if I didn't. But I'm not a drunk. Drunk people annoy me actually. So anyway, I had the beer and they cleaned all the beer off and had a bit of translation, learned a bit about their lifestyle, which I was really interested in. That was cool. And then I went to go to use the Call of Nature, which is outside there, and the father come over too, and then I gave him some money. I think it was 100,000 kit, which is about $7 Australian, and he almost fell over. It was that much money. It is a lot of money. And so we went back to the table and the father brought out this bottle with this green liquid and he poured me a glass, and he was saying rice, like it was made from rice. Now the guy that took me there, he used to be a Buddhist monk. He poured half back and he was saying a prayer. I should have learned that. And then he was saying actually a prayer over this drink. So I had this drink. I know now it's called arak. I had this drink and wow, it hit me. I was that drunk from it. Oh, it was just terrible. And I remember falling in the creek because I couldn't even stand up. It was that bad. And they had to help me onto the back of tuk-tuk. And then the driver was saying he shouldn't have taken me there, you know. Shouldn't have done this to me. So he took me to this cafe on the way back and bought me a bowl of chicken soup. And he's saying, sober you up. So I ate this chicken soup. And I remember from this place there was a rail and it was a big drop down into the valley. And I remember standing there and I threw up. I just threw up. And so he took me back to my room. And the next day I'd actually booked a trip in a minibus to go to the Plain of Jars. And the guy turned up to take me and I just went out and said, I cannot travel. No. And he said, oh, my boss be angry, I got no money. And I said, well, here, I gave him $20 US and he was happy. And I said, come back tomorrow, because I had to go back to bed. But that's what happened out in the farm. And wow, that was powerful. So be very careful what you drink overseas. You don't know what you're getting into. I went to another place and they have whiskey and they have jars, and one whiskey is made from cobras, and you can actually go to a place I went there where they breed the cobras to make the whiskey. Another one they had these big geckos in them, and there was another one that had scorpions in it, and they had shot glasses there, and I went 1, 2, 3. I had 3 shots. So I'm actually drinking cobra and scorpion whiskey, and They weren't as bad as the Arak, actually. They weren't too bad. They actually have these whiskies for medicine. But yeah, it's funny looking at this jar, and they pull this great big scorpion out of it that's soaking in. So yeah, that was some crazy drinks they have over there.